So we are very, very honored and grateful to be able to have a few minutes today to speak about LiveDo USA in beautiful Wilson, North Carolina. And we are joined today by Tai Hishikawa, who is the president and COO over there. Hishikawa-san, thank you so much for making time for me today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
So, I mean, lots of people know about LiveDo USA. LiveDo USA has been in North Carolina for close to 20 years now. And but I wanted to talk with you a bit about your operations and your plans for the future and so forth. So what is LiveDo USA's product and how did you come to North Carolina?
So LiveDo USA is a subsidiary company of LiveDo Corporation in Japan, who manufacture adult incontinence products. LiveDo Corporation is one of the major, incontinence manufacturers in Japan or in Asia even. So then they have us, LiveDo USA. We also manufactures adult incontinence products here. Yeah.
So I remember you talking. I was fortunate enough to come out there pre-pandemic with Corey Howard from EDPNC to your wonderful facility there, and it was there that you told us about how LiveDo were first movers in adult incontinence products in terms of the pull-up adult diaper. And can you talk a little bit about that, how that was developed and how that business model came about?
Yeah. So, LiveDo Corporation launched, adult pull-up first time in the world. It's like a baby pull-up, a similar products like that. And that was 1995, and nobody was producing, same kind of products. So we started to export to Europe, United States, and some other parts of the world. And we're doing great, back then. And early 2000, a major player like Kimberly-Clark, other players like SCA started producing, products like that. So we were exporting from Japan to United States, and we were not competitive enough. So we decided to come to United States to start producing, and we had a lot of partners, customers in North Carolina. So that's the reason actually why we chose North Carolina.
Well, we're very happy to have you here. You're a longtime, very important partner for us, and how many North Carolinians does LiveDo USA currently employ?
Yeah, we employ about 70 local, North Carolinian here, and most of us, work at the production, so we're manufacturers. So and yeah, 10, 20 of us doing sales, marketing, human resource, administrative type of works, and we have actually 4 Japanese employees here, originally, from LiveDo Corporation, including myself. Yeah.
And so of course, you're the president and COO, and you've been there a number of years. But usually, I mean, is it on assignment when Japanese nationals come in? It's like what, like two to 3 years for an assignment?
Yeah, you're right about that. So myself, I mean, I've been here almost 16 years. But other, Japanese, they, rotate about every 4 to 5 years.
Okay, so a bit longer.
So, yeah.
Okay. And so and the other Japanese nationals who are rotated in on Chuzai or on assignment, are they engineers for the most part? Are they in sales? What general job responsibilities do they have?
Yeah, just one of them are plant manager, and other 2 are engineers.
I think you had told me something interesting before about the difference between LiveDo Corporation in Japan, machine operators there, and machine operators in the US. Could you talk a little bit about that? I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, so in general, in Japan, I mean, you're doing operators and doing pretty much you're doing everything in terms of like running machines. Like you check quality of diapers, you running the machine, you put your material in the machine as well, you know. But in the US, jobs are more segmented, you know, and yeah, in this kind of small way, and so yeah, if you're operator, then you're basically just doing operating machines. That's it. And if you're quality, then you're checking quality. Yeah, so that's quite different there. And
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with liability too, right? And labor laws. Understood. Um, so of course, you know, the pandemic has affected all industries all throughout the world. But a lot of those influences on companies can be felt in many different ways. How has LiveDo USA dealt with the pandemic, and what is the situation now?
yeah, at the beginning of pandemic, people really didn't know, you know, what was going to happen, you know, and so people were really scared and afraid of being at the plant, working closely, you know, with the other co-workers. But I mean, people get used to it, you know, and but now it's very hard to find you know, good candidates, you know, out there. As you know, that the labor market is really tight, and yeah, for us the same thing. You know, it's been really tough to find quality people.
Well, you know, hopefully we get through this pandemic sooner rather than later, you know, and start getting more face-to-face operations and meetings and conferences. You know, that's really important. And, you know, especially for a production facility like yours, you have to have people on site. You need to have your techs there, you know, your machine operators and people to meet your production quotas. And I'm sure that your staff are fantastic at their job and have been going above and beyond in that area. So hopefully we can get past this thing and get to a more normalized working environment. Seems to be going that way in terms of codifying safety procedures, understanding what it takes to be safe in these kind of conditions. And in that same vein, you know, I know that you are familiar with the concept of Kaizen, right? This continuous improvement concept that was and is employed in Japan. Every company has their own version of it. You know, 5S is another term that we use. Can you talk a little bit about LiveDo USA's version of Kaizen or 5S and how it's the same or different from LiveDo Corporation in Japan?
Yeah, so we have a 5S program in Japan. We basically got that program from Japan and kind of adjusted in our way. But mostly, like we have like, let's say quality manual, you know, operation standards. Those are from Japan. So we kind of use that and adjust it in our own way as well. So in terms of 5S, we do have a 5S meeting like every week. And also we do everyday 5S time, which is basically cleaning time. Yeah, so beginning with shift, we allocate each people to clean specific you know, areas, and they rotate and they you know, while they're doing that, they're kind of notice something like, oh, this was not, this dirty like a week ago or something like that. They we hope people aware like the situation, like, and then people can fix things, right? I mean, like if you're dirty, then maybe something else causing this problem. It's just only, not only a dirtiness, but also something else behind it,
Yeah.
that thought process, is something that we want to encourage employees to have as well. So,
Well, a lot of Kaizen or 5S, and as I said, every company in Japan has like their own acronym that they use, has to deal with finding efficiencies too, right? And in that sense, was there anything discovered during the pandemic? Were there any efficiencies that you found at LiveDo USA that you think you'll carry forward into the post-pandemic world? I mean, I know that you're producing adult incontinence products, so most of your staff are on site. They have to be. But anything found through remote work or any efficiencies that way?
yeah, like you said, we're a manufacturer, so most of the stuff has to be here, to produce our products. But yeah, we started to have administrative stuff like accounting, sales, marketing folks, work from home, and now still they actually work from home 3 days a week, 2 days a week, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, they could they can use their time more efficiently in some way, because they don't have to actually commute, right? So they can use the time. So yeah, that's very helpful. But at the same time, I found that the face-to-face time is very, very important as well. When you do, like, when you speak on a TV conference, like sometimes you don't get their nuance on what they say, and also like some products. I wanted to show some products samples to coworkers, and it's very, very difficult to have them understand like what I'm exactly talking about on the samples of products.
Right.
So yeah, I'm thinking, after post-pandemic, I'm thinking to somewhat go back to pre-pandemic, but some maybe stay like pandemic, like hybrid model. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Understood. Well, in continuous of that thought, what are LiveDo USA's short, mid, and long-term goals at this point at a very high level? What are we looking at?
Yeah, so our sales, especially e-commerce sales, has been growing tremendously. Well, partly because of pandemic. So our sales is growing, but we still have some capacity left to support this sales growth for another 2 to 3 years, probably. So then we'll need to look into, investing more machines. Eventually, we'll probably expand building, our plant as well. So that's the rough kind of future, plan.
Understood. No, we're looking forward to your expansion of operations in North Carolina. We love having you here. And this is it's great to learn more about Japanese companies or Japan-owned companies continue to have such long operations in North Carolina and understand the value of being in North Carolina and the cost of doing operations in North Carolina is also really great. So that's wonderful. Well, Hishikawa-san, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with me. Hopefully we can get more people vaccinated and get past this thing. And I'd love to come back out and visit you in beautiful Wilson, North Carolina. You have a wonderful facility out there, and we wish the best for you and your staff. And we're looking forward to hearing more about LiveDo USA in the future.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time today. And yeah, I enjoyed it. So thank you very much.
Thank you.